Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Welcome to this live session of the LMA, the Localization Management Academy. Today is our official launch, and we wanted to present our academy, our localization online localization management program. We have with us two of our tutors in this new adventure. Stefania Russo and Miguel Sepulveda. We will talk with them in a moment. We had prepared some beautiful overlays and things like that that seem not to be working now, but yeah, that's the typical things that happen when you are live. So no worries on our side because we know those things happen. And yeah, well, let me first talk about how this idea originated. It will be very short. So in case any of you have any questions, you can make us questions. And the Localization Management Academy is an idea that was born from Nicola Calabrese from Undertow Languages and myself. And I have been working as a localization manager for something like 25 years already, not always as a localization manager, but we found that it was necessary to give proper training to the future localization managers, project managers, because something was missing. And we saw that there are some institutions, some companies providing training but most of it is very theoretical and not based on strategic skills. So I mean, nowadays a project manager, a localization manager, globalization director, you cannot just know about the best translation management system in the market. It goes beyond that. I mean, it's knowing about how to apply different skills to different markets or different strategies to different markets, how to manage a team, how to find the resources, how to find solutions to challenges. And I can see some people in the chat already. So hello, everybody. Hello, people connecting from Berlin, Brazil. I see Diego from Brazil there, who has already enrolled in the localization program. So yeah, our idea, as I was saying, is to provide real experience. We want our students to become the professionals of the future, the leaders of the future. So we want to upskill you in order to be able to provide solutions to companies and solutions not only from a localization perspective, but also to product teams, to legal teams, to all teams in a company. So it's a really complex thing to do. And there is very few or none training on that, strategic training. So that's where we wanted to go. And the proof that this is needed is if you go to, for example, Indeed or Monster or any of these job portals or job search engines, and you type project manager, localization project manager, or localization manager, there are hundreds of job ads. And nowadays, even better with you can work remotely. So yeah, there are many opportunities out there, and but there is the need to train those future leaders. And we have also to think that with how AI is developing, we need to also reconsider our position, our jobs, because our future will be with AI, and we need to take that into account. And yeah, and the work of a translator will change with AI. The work of managers, of course, will change, but probably translators will have a higher impact from AI than a manager can have. So also we also want to give the opportunity for people to find to be able to grow in their careers. So some people are already asking how to enroll. well, you just have to go to or you can type on any search engine Localization Management Academy, and you will be redirected to our main page. And it's easy as that. And yeah, and I hope you can enroll. And by the way, there is a for the launch, there is a 50% discount till Friday, so take advantage of it. And now let me go with our first guest, with Miguel Sepulveda, that I will be adding. Let me first test if what we had prepared is working, which is this overlay. Let's see if it works, Miguel. I'm going to add you in a moment. Okay, no, I think no, it's not working. We should appear there, but it seems that the background is not working. In any case, Miguel, how are you?
Good. Is it working at least somehow? Can you hear me?
At least the background. Technical problems happen when you are live, when you want to do something, even if we have tested it before and it was working, when you go live, it stops working. But yeah, probably I have touched something that I didn't have to touch. In any case, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being here. We know you are a super busy person. For those of you who do not know Miguel, well, Miguel is the and correct me, Miguel, if I am wrong, the globalization director at King. If you don't know King, come on, who doesn't know King? But if you don't know King, think of what's the most famous video game you have, Miguel, that you can tell people?
One with candies that you need to match and crash.
Oh yeah, Candy Crush. Yes, everybody has played Candy Crush, and they have a lot of games. Um, Miguel is not only the globalization director at King, but also the author of the blog Yo Localizo. And where, I mean, for me, being with Miguel is an honor because I have been reading his blog posts since I discovered him. So, I mean, having him here for me, it's, I'm super excited. Um, as I have already told him in another occasion we had to be together. So Miguel, how can be this online localization management program useful? I mean, based on your experience, how could this be useful for someone who is a translator and suddenly we are giving them this training? How is that going to help them?
I think it's related to what you mentioned about expanding the typical activities that we might do, like in the old world. Because I think that every localization professional, we need to recycle. It's been always like that, to be honest. There's been always like a need to recycle and upgrade our skills. But yeah, that's something that what I want to contribute, which is something that I didn't have when I started, is like advice about how to do this, because I've been in the industry since 1995 when I was working for Microsoft, and there was nothing. So basically everything was trial and error. There were no studies, no nothing. And these are the kind of things that I would love that they would be available when I was like starting in my career, because I knew nothing. And now what I'm seeing is that there are still, when I talk to people that they are in the industry, usually one of the common patterns is like localization is an afterthought, and everything that is coming around that. And I think that there are different reasons about why that is happening. I think that a big one is that we are not always sure how to speak to our stakeholders, how to explain the impact of localization activities. We have a tendency, from what I've seen, about focusing like on quality metrics, which are important, but it's also important to know how to talk about the impact of that quality, like in the final product. And I don't see that that's done, and how you can connect what you do with the impact in the company revenue and all that. And I don't see that, for example, usually localization teams are involved into deciding in which markets we could have the product localized, something that's decided someone else, like in marketing or something. And I'm not saying that this is a decision that localization needs to do like alone, but definitely we can contribute. And it's all around finding that famous seat in the table, right? So these are some things that you need to learn how to do it. So how do you decide in which markets you are going to be? And how do you decide if you are in a tight budget? How do you decide about content priority and content visibility and all these kind of things? So there needs to be a plan to know how to do that and how to learn. And I'm happy to be contributing here because, and congratulations to you and Nicola, because I think for everyone working in this industry, we need to learn to do that. And I really think that we can offer more than what we do in most of the cases. We have more potential and we know more than we think, but there is something there that is not really projecting. So I want to help to eliminate that barrier. And that's also one of the reasons why I like contributing in these initiatives or writing. Also because it's a way of getting some clear thinking, but it's because I think we don't believe in ourselves as much. And I think that a localization project manager is like a kind of MBA with legs because we do a little bit of everything, like everything, literally. And depending on the company, you can do more or less of some of the things, but we do a lot of things. And when you list everything, I'm just thinking that it's a shame because with a few tweaks, that can be, explained in a very powerful way. And I think that we are failing there. So let's see if we can help to close that gap.
Wow, yeah, I subscribe every word you have said, and yeah, the other day I remember my manager, she's the head of content, and she will also be part of the Localization Management Academy, and she's fantastic. And she shared with me a presentation where she said what content does versus what content supports, and I think that's very important. I think we can do a lot of things but we can support our company in many other ways. So and that's what we are going to teach here or to show here, and everything based on real experience. So you are going to those of you who join the academy will learn from our best practices, from our mistakes, from what we have done in the past and what we are doing nowadays. So this is based on real things, on our everyday work, as Miguel was explaining. And it's not just about it's not nowadays. It's no longer about just translating and quality, but this is about talking to C management, explaining them why localization is important, explaining them what is the next market we are going to, knowing how to create a research to go to a market. I mean, there are many things that we need to take into account, and I think those of us who have a background in translation, in project management, have a very big advantage because we have a cultural knowledge of the world that very few people possess. So that's super positive. Last question for you, Miguel, and I leave you you can continue doing your life. But you are a globalization director at King. But what is a globalization director? What does a person like you do? I mean, it will take hours probably to explain your everyday your everyday job, but it's basically what you do.
It's nowadays it's a lot of stakeholders management expectation, giving visibility to the work of the team, explaining the impact, trying to have like a good understanding about which is the roadmap and the goals of the product teams, and see how we can contribute from a global perspective. So it's really everything that you might think about being like the kind of glue in the company. Because in the end, teams like us, we are a kind of satellite, and we are helping every type of content. In our case, in-game content, but it's also the marketing content, the legal content, and these are big companies, and quite often not everyone is fully aligned. So it's just trying to find a way to bring that alignment. So yeah, a big focus on explaining, like in a clear way, why what we do it's important and how we are contributing. So that I would say that it's all related with strategy, globalization analytics, QBRs, engagement with our partners. So everything that is related with that. But yeah, it's a big part of my day nowadays is manage expectations of stakeholders, manage change, and everything that is related with that.
No, fantastic. Yeah. Now, what you have said is key to understand what every person who starts as probably as a project manager will end up doing if they pursue that career and become a localization manager, localization lead, or eventually globalization lead or director. Yeah, the knowledge of the world you need to have, and how to present and how to find the information you need to to show the importance of localization, and not only the importance, but how localization is impacting the revenue, because in the end, all companies want to see revenue, and that's very important, that we are able to know what's the information we need to use or present, where to find it, and then how to sell that information to different stakeholders in a company, how to interact with different teams, because I think you have said something key, which is sometimes when we are hired as project managers or localization managers, there is this belief that, okay, you are going to be part of one team, product or marketing, but then localization impacts the whole company. And when you start scratching the surface, you see that all teams have localization or translation needs. So that's also something that we will work on.
Yeah, for some reason, there's like a oversimplification of what a localization professional does, and then you need to explain that there are many more things. So even and I like to make emphasis about those things that they might not be really related with localization when you think about it. So in our case, could be like font selection. Is that something that the localization team can help or not? Because in the end, if you are releasing your product in Japan, in Korea, in Thailand, you need to ensure that the fonts are there, and you need to give feedback. And usually localization teams, they can help on that. You can also give feedback about price localization. Who thinks about price localization? But that's something that you also need to consider. Payment options. Not every country is having the same kind of payment. So maybe that's also something that localization professionals can help. So usually it's like, okay, oversimplify is like we Google Translate. We all know that. But what I try to put a lot of emphasis is like all these other things that usually they are under the radar, and that someone needs to give them the visibility. So I think that's important, because that's when they see like, okay, we need to take into consideration these people, because they are also contributing to the growth of the company. So yeah, it's all around that.
Absolutely. I mean, what you have said is true. I mean, just tweaking the price, for example, for different markets, it could mean that your company is making much more money. So, and that's localization. So yeah, I think as you have said, we overgeneralize, and we tend to think that localization is just translation, and it's way more. Miguel, thank you very much for your time. Have a great day, and see you soon on the online localization management program. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a
Ciao.
good one.
Thank you.
Ciao.
And now we are going to continue with another guest star that we have today, Stefania Russo. I'm going to add her to the call. Hi, Stefania. How are you doing?
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here. Thanks, Alfonso.
Happy to have you here. Well, Stefania, as our overlay is not working, I have to present Stefania. Stefania is the head of content of UX content at Glovo. Am I right, Stefania?
Yes, it's right.
We were talking about that before the connection. That's why I'm making a little bit of a joke here. At Glovo, I mean, everybody knows
Yeah.
Glovo, and everybody may understand the challenges that a company like that pose. I mean, think of UX. UX means user experience for those of you who doesn't know, and think of that in a company where everybody is using their probably or most people are using their mobile phones to all over the world to order whatever. So that's a crazy amount of work behind. So we just see the
Yes.
app working, and okay, it's very easy. Just click on a button and I click pay. But as Miguel was saying, and
Yeah, that's the
Stefania,
usual
please
challenge
explain us
of
the
every.
amount.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So how is your a day in your life?
Do you really want to know it? I'm joking.
Yes, please.
So yeah, I'm as Alfonso was saying. So I'm leading both in the UX content. So I'm leading both the localization and the UX writing content design team. We are in the UX organization in the product department. So, but of course, as also Miguel was saying, it doesn't mean that we just take care of any only UI localization, but we localization is very central team in the sense that we take care of localization for marketing, legal, any other department that actually produces content. So my day, usually the main, when you are leading a team, one of the main tasks is stakeholder management and trying to be what I used to say, the PR for my team, making sure that my team is involved in the right discussion, in the right processes, projects, to make sure that the content part that is usually left as last last piece of the chain is actually involved a bit earlier. So on the localization team, yes, process, we take care of anything like improve the technology part, the collaboration with our providers, and we take care of making sure that our products are localized in the languages that we support, that are around 2021, depending on the product. On the UX writing team, I created it from scratch. It was last year, so we are actually setting up the foundations of how important it is to create a good content and designing, co-designing together with designer and researcher, like the UI of a product. So usually, my daily is tasks are aligning with different stakeholders, with teams, priorities, KPI, all the usual stuff.
That's amazing. I mean, and I think it's very, very important to have you on the program, because that gives us a better view of what we can do. I mean, sometimes we think that we can work as project managers or localization managers, but there is a variety of opportunities there. Of course,
yeah.
you need the skills. And so how are we going to contribute with your experience to the people joining the academy and the program?
Yeah, so I will focus about the role and the added value of the role of the localization within the user experience as a whole, and also how localization is placed in the overall design process. So we will talk about like the famous design stage localization, or how important is the collaboration between localization and UX writers and designers, and how to bring awareness to the rest of the product team, and also how we can use user research methodologies for applied to localization. So we will cover these few topics.
Well, yeah. We have a lot of, for those of you who have interested, we have the program on the LMA page, so you can go there and check the contest we are going to cover. So I think it's going to be super, super interesting. I have another question for you, Stefania, and it's,
Yes.
how have things changed from when you started till today, and how do you think
Wow.
change with the, of course, artificial intelligence was already here, but how do you think they are going to evolve?
Wow, it's a big question. So I've been starting the localization more than 15 years ago. So my age is revealed. No, I'm joking. It changed a lot. And what I like about the localization industry, that it's in a continuous evolution. So we are trying continuously to innovate and trying to get the best of technology that's out there. It's clearly now with ChatGPT, the latest development, we are trying to see what we can actually, how we can benefit from it. It evolved, of course. What I'm seeing more and more, and that I like, is like, usually localization people and everyone we are very in a bubble. We live in so everyone thinks, we talk also using a lot of jargon, fuzzy matches and translation memories. And one thing that it's very important for us to do to make that impact, and because once you move away from work like in your as a translator or as a project manager, and you start working maybe in a different environments, like it can be like a client side. When you suddenly, I made the switch. I worked for many years in a LSP, and then I made the switch to the client side, as it's usually referred to. Then it's like it's a completely like change of environment. You are alone, and you can just maybe talk to a few colleagues if you are lucky to have some, and you realize that there is just very low or non-existent awareness about localization. Everyone thinks it's just Google Translate. And so it's like I'm seeing, but this trend that we are trying to go out from our bubble and trying to talk a bit less using jargon, but more using business terms, like how localization can actually impact the development of a product, the user experience. Then this is a trend that I'm seeing more and more with a lot of conferences and events popping up like every day. So this is a very nice development that I'm seeing lately. And this is actually one of the added value of this course, the fact that the people who will subscribe, will sign up, will join from like the hands-on experiences of our challenges, because not all the challenges are solved, or we don't know the solution for everything. It's a continuous challenge and a continuous battles, but also some wins. And it's it's very it's what I like the most, like when you see that people start to realize the impact that localization can have overall for the product. They start realizing, oh, wow, but we didn't consider this. Yes, text expands. The design needs to be adapted to that. So yeah. For us, maybe it's a very basic knowledge, but it's really it's not basic, and it's not a given for other people who are not from our environment. So yeah, the trend that I'm seeing beyond technology and innovation and continuous, like trying to go a bit over our own bubble and talk in other terms.
Absolutely. I subscribe also all your words, and yeah, and it's fantastic to see the impact of what we are doing. It's also very interesting to learn all these things, because as you have said, sometimes these localization teams are just one-person teams. So the other day I was reading something about that sometimes localization managers are just one-person teams. So sometimes when you arrive to a company, you are alone, or you have to set up the infrastructure, or you have to do what you were saying you have done with part of your responsibilities. And this is something we are going to explain here. I mean, we will go from zero to hero. So we are not going to take things for granted, because we know if you are hired, you are going to go through that process. You won't know anything about when they talk to you about funnels in marketing or things like that, or how UX impacts this or that, or when the product team comes or the life cycle team, and you say, what's the life cycle team? What's the product team? What do they want from me? Why do they want me to give them? Yeah, that's the kind of I think you have summarized in saying that we need to be strategists, and we need to give strategic info to other stakeholders, because they get lost if we talk about fuzzy matches or about translation quality. And actually, to be honest,
and it works for us.
yeah, that's for us, and that's our battle wins. Just say, oh yeah, this month I reduced the amount of issues that we get. No, yeah, okay, very well. But go to the CEO of your company and show him or her that. They don't care. They just want, okay, how did you impact revenue? Are we making more money thanks to localization? Yes, we are. And I'm going to show you how. And that's the kind of things that we want our students to learn and to focus on, and to be able to find that information. So, hey, the localization project management is no longer about choosing just the best translation management system for your company. That's part of it, but it's not only that, just the very, very basics. So here you will learn a lot, as Stefania was saying, a lot about the whole process. Stefania, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being part of the program. I think you are a vital part of it, because what we wanted to do is to show that localization is not just about the typical bubble that you have said. We are just translation, just a part of it. It's way bigger. There are many things like UX, many things, product that we need to take into account. And I think you are going to provide a high value to our students. So I wish you the best today, the best forever, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Alfonso, and bye everyone. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao. And now I'm along with you all. So it's time for your questions. In case you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them. You can write them on the platform where you are connected, and it will appear here. We will show them on the screen. If there are no questions, what I will do is to invite you to visit the LMA page. Go to you can go to Google and type Localization Management Academy or Localization Management Academy Translators, and you will have our main page. This online course starts in October. It will be 1 month, 2 hours every day, or less, 2 hours approximately every day. You will have some of the best, as you have seen, Stefania, Russo, you have Miguel, Sepulveda, even myself. I am not one of the best, but I will be there. But you will have some of the best localization managers in the industry. And it will be, as I said, online. We have a question from Lucia. Hola, Lucia. I know Lucia. We work with her in our company at Sinch email. Lucia is asking us, what is the format of the classes? Well, it's online classes. Everything is super interactive. So don't worry, you are not going to sit there for 2 hours listening to someone telling you how to do things. No, we will propose you ways to, we will ask you how you will solve this or that problem. Of course, we will give you some background. We will present you some cases, but that's the idea. The idea is that you participate, that you interact with your colleagues, and that you find solutions. So that's what we are. We are solutions finders or solution providers, and that's what we want you to be. I hope I have answered your question, Lucia. Someone is saying that he or she will subscribe to the academy. We hope so. We hope to see you there. You remember there is a 50% discount till Friday, and the course starts in October. And it's going to be a great opportunity for you all that, for example, have a background in translation as a translator or as a project manager, to continue growing in your career. We think this is what is going to provide you those skills that you are missing. And the course, the program is mainly based on how to work as a localization manager, project manager, globalization director on the buyer side. And we mean with the buyer side on company side, not on the language service provider side. We will have other courses on how to work for language service providers as a project manager, for example. But in this case, we are basing this this program on the buyer side. So working for companies such as King or Glovo or Skyscanner or Sinch email, any of those companies. We have some other questions here. Surabi, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your names correctly. She is asking, can you please repeat the details? The details, I guess, about the academy is the Localization Management Academy. So if you look for it on Google, you'll find us by TranslateStars. And the course starts in October at 6 CET, so Berlin time, Madrid time. All sessions are, all sessions are live, but they will be recorded. So, and you have access forever. So you don't worry, you don't have to worry if you miss one day or anything like that. All sessions will be uploaded to our platform. You can watch the sessions as many times as you like. We don't have any due dates. There's nothing like that. You also have the presentations available from each of the tutors. So it will be very, very easy. And you can make questions even when the program has come to an end. Of course, questions that are related to the course. We have here more questions. Mark is asking us, is the promo price the one currently listed on the website? Well, the promo price is, no, it's even better, because on the website, I think you have 295, and now you have with this week, you have this 50% off, 50% off just this week. So please take advantage of it. And there is another question from Carla. Carla asked us, each learning path will have different courses. Well, we have two learning paths, as Carla is mentioning. We have the project management part and more the localization management part. The online localization management program comprises both paths. So you will go, as I was saying before with Stefania, we go from zero to hero. We don't want to take things for granted, and we don't want people to we don't want to suppose that you know anything or you know everything. So we will cover every aspect that you need to know to fully understand how to do the job. So that's basically. Okay, Sarah says that she was going to ask the same question as Carla. And Surabi, okay, Surabi is specifying, okay, the duration, price, days, it's 1 month. So during the whole month of October, okay, the price is very affordable price. The normal price is 295, but today you can find it for, I think it's 147, something like that, with the 50% discount. So take advantage of that. And then the days of the program, it's 4 weeks. 1 month, 2 hours every day, more or less, approximately. Sometimes it will be more, sometimes maybe a little bit less. We have another person who says, Alfonso, do you happen to provide internships after completing the LMA courses? Not us, but we hope that we are able to, not us as the Localization Management Academy, but we hope that some opportunities are open. We are working on that, so in order to provide opportunities, but it's not something we are offering right now. Okay, and Nur Salam asked us a very general question about AI and ChatGPT. Well, it poses a threat against the industry. Well, this is like any tool that we use. When translation management system or CAT tools appeared many years ago, people were scared, okay, this is going to end with translators. No, they help us. The AI is going to change how we do things, or it's already changing the way we do things. So in many cases, simplifying it. As a manager, I started researching it on how we can use it. And actually, at the end of this month, there is a free webinar on TranslateStars about ChatGPT and BART for translators. It's free, so take it, go there, register. You don't have to pay anything, and you'll see the different applications that we can have as translators, as managers. Just giving you an example, for example, term extraction. Okay, that's something that sometimes is complicated, that many CAT tools and translation management systems do not offer. Well, you can do that with ChatGPT or with BART. So that's the kind of things that we are going to cover. But in any case, We will also cover AI in the online localization management program, because it's part of our daily lives now, and you'll see how to implement, how to use it in our lives as translators. Federica is saying, how can we apply the discount? Is there a code? Oh, yeah, Federica, that's a very good question. Yeah, there is a code. It's LMA 50 all together and in capital letters, LMA 50, and you have the 50% discount. Okay. And then Diego is saying, are we going to submit exercise for review by the lecturers, or are exercises self-assessed? That's a very good question, Diego. In most of cases, it will be exercises that we are going to do live. So you will have to solve different cases individually or as a group. So that's the idea. We don't want you to work at home a lot. Maybe we send you some readings or some things, or we ask you to visit this or those pages and to analyze this or that thing. But in order to put everything together the following date or in the following session. So that's the idea. But that's why we have a workload outside the normal hours. And right now we don't have any other question. Let me share with you the code for the 50%. Is that LMA 50? Okay. So if you use it, you will have a 50% discount on the program. And that's all from my side. Thank you very much for having attended this official launch, official presentation of the LMA. Thanks again to Miguel, to Stefania, and the rest of the tutors and people that make part of the Localization Management Academy that today couldn't be here. And thank you. I hope to see you there. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email us. We will be happy to answer them, to help you. And we hope to see you there. Remember, you have some of the best localization managers in the industry there exclusively for you. So this is a great opportunity. Have a great day. Enjoy. Be good. And I hope to see you all at the LMA. Take care. Ciao, ciao.